While we're on the subject of removing the tail lenses, might as well clean them up. I've already gone ahead and cleaned the left. You can see kind of how this side doesn't have that shine, that same amount of shine. This side has kind of got micro scratches. I take pretty good care of my lenses as is. That side's got a nice deep gloss red. And this side, not so much. If you're in an area where these oxidize over real bad, you might want to go with something a little heavier, such as polishing compound. And if you have some really deep grooves, you might want to go with something like a rubbing compound. I'll just stack these up in order of most abrasive, medium abrasive, least abrasive. So for something that's just kind of surface scratches, surface details, I'll go with something like a PlastX. If there was a couple of deep grooves in there, I might go with polishing compound. But remember, all of these are abrasives. These are basically liquid sandpaper. So when you use these, you are taking off some of the coat. Just barely. We're talking, nanometers of clear coat. This one is done. Now you do not want to clean these on the bench because your studs are sitting on here, and if you apply any pressure on here, you don't want the chance of bending a stud. Because of these studs, I will just set this in my lap. Find a good way to grip it. A healthy dose. You want to do swirls. Do swirls on your first go round, and this will get out most of the big scratches. Now remember, they're all micro scratches, but it'll take care of the big micro scratches. And this is basically just cleaning up when you go around the back of your car and you walk into it with your keys or something. It gets scuffed up just from daily use, as well as oxidation from the sun. And when it starts getting harder, that's when you're actually taking off a lot of clear coat as it dries. So that's when you want to start going back and forth, because a swirl pattern will show up. You don't want it to show up. You want it to be straight back and forth. And you let that dry for a minute, and you go at it with a clean paper towel, and you go back and forth. And as you can hear, it's starting to get really clean. One indicator of when it's really clean is a squeak test. That's clean. When it squeaks, it's clean. You can look up close. You can see if there's anything getting shifted or moved around. I had a little bit of tree sap on my other one, so I just took my fingernail and picked them off, wiped them off. I can still see a lot of really fine scratches. And a lot of these could be from the paper towel itself. I mean, you do not use regular paper towels, or do not use regular washcloths or towels. What you really want to do is use an applicator. That's the best thing to have. I don't have a clean applicator right now, so I'm using this. This is a poor substitute for a good applicator, and you will introduce minor scratches in here, but it's better than what I had to begin with. So honestly, really, you should use an applicator pad. I'll show you what that looks like. I guess that one is semi-clean, but you want to use a brand new one. As you can see here, this has got, I think this is rubbing compound that I used on this for my door guards when I shine those up. It does have one good surface, but it's still not completely clean, so I don't want to use this for something like this. I would rather use this for another thing of rubbing compound that has some abrasive in it. Perfectly clean applicator when you do this kind of thing. Because when you look in there really close and get your eye really close to it, you will see scratches, and that's because I'm using the towels instead of the applicator. Now the trick to getting it really clean is 2 applications, and yes, I put on a liberal amount because this will all dry up as you use it, as the friction burns it in, and you want to rotate it for your second coat. As you work this in, you're basically working it into the plastic, and as it works in, it dries, and then as you can see, it gets sticky, and that's when the abrasives really start to cut. Then as it dries more, you go lighter so that you're barely moving the cloth, because remember, this gets squeaky clean. After a while, it'll just be like sliding right over glass. So you go real light. I need another new towel for this. And ideally, you would use an applicator and a terry cloth towel. All I have is this for now, and I'm just trying to get this done, and I'm not going for perfection. If I was going for perfection, I would use an applicator and a terry cloth towel. Now it's just like sliding right over glass, or like on a Rain-X coated piece of glass. It's just slippery. All right. It's looking much better. Side by side comparison. I think we're looking pretty good there. So that's all there is to rejuvenating. It's not really even a repair, it's just a rejuvenation. It's not even a restore. It's because they were already in fairly good shape. So I'm just kind of bringing back out the shine. And these are my original tail lamps. I've never had these replaced. As you can see, I've taken really good care of my tail light housings over the life of my car. So I have no idea, but for some reason they've just done really well for me. I do have a couple of micro cracks, small little imperfections here and there. I'm pretty happy with how those have kept. And these are now 19 years old. Probably older than some of you guys watching.